Hello, my lovelies. Thank you so much for clicking here. How are you today? Thank you so much for showing up here today. Look, it is beautiful in central Canada where I'm at. It is almost 40 degrees, and that is a miracle in itself that it showed up before Aries season. And I can safely say that spring is on its way. We are getting the thaw. So that is around 4 degrees Celsius for those of you who are catching up with the rest of the world. And so thanks, for clicking here. It's a beautiful sunny day, and I'm glad to be able to be doing this reading for you today. So look, I do this reading once a week. So if you've been here before, if you have subscribed, thank you for that. If you have not, I hope you will. I do this reading once a week, and it is for the entire zodiac. I have 12 decks to my left. I'm going to read a little bit from each of those decks, and the readings are not just for the sun signs, please understand. I do read for sun, moon, rising, Venus, and Jupiter signs. So I'm reading for all of those signs, and so you may just want to pop around to find out what you're looking at if you have your moon and your rising, your Venus and your Jupiter. So I'm going to read from all these cards. I'm going to mark it all down below. I'm going to mark all the timings down below. So if you're viewing on a device which does not allow you to see the chapters, then please go to the description, not the pinned comment, but the description, and you'll be able to see the timings. You can just click on those. And I'm going to mark everything down below so you can just scroll this video to see what's going on here. But I'm going to ask you to please stop watching tarot just for your sun sign. I mean, sun signs are fun, right? But what is influencing your sun sign? Because look, your sun sign is merely your personality, and your personality is going to change over time based on who you know, who you marry, who you live with. Your personality is going to change over time. So please get your moon and your rising. Anywhere on the internet, natal charts are free, and even if you don't have your exact time of birth, you can do it just by knowing if you were born in the AM or the PM. It'll assign a rising sign to you. So, thanks for your support and all the ways that you love me on this channel. I appreciate you so much. Just want to tell you the private readings are open and I am caught up, so now is the best time if you want to get in. And my readings, my pre-recorded readings begin at $25. You get those back in 48 hours, 48 business hours. You will get those readings back. And anything goes up from there. So please check the pinned comment for the Hipsy link, and you can go to Hipsy and check out all my prices and all my packages. I have quite a few, and I also do live readings. You can connect with me typing to me in chat, or you can speak with me over the phone or speak to me via video. And if you would like to do any of those live services, you will get between 5 and 75% off anytime you connect with me, even if you are a returning client. All right, I think that's all I need to tell you from here, except I'm so excited to have this beautiful weather. I have this big, beautiful window in front of me, which is giving me a lot of light. All right, Aries, let's do it. Aries, we're almost at your season. And right when we start your season, right on your birthday month, the 20th of March is when Mercury goes direct, which is in Pisces right now, by the way. And we still will have 2 weeks of a post-shadow phase that'll take us into the end of the month. But look, you are resetting everything, Aries. Aries is resetting everything. There's going to be a whole party of planets in Aries pretty soon. If you want to know what that means, please go find your nearest astrologer. Let's find out what's going on for you in the next 7 days. For Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter signs, my fire family, tell me about Aries in the next 7 days. We've got the 9 of Cups, Aries. We've got the 3 of Pentacles. Oh gosh, I've got a song in my head already, and I don't know what it is. Good Day, Sunshine. It's from like the 60s. Good Day, Sunshine. We've got the 6 of Pentacles. And we've got the Emperor. Well, somebody is stepping into their big shoes here. So Aries, I feel like what's going on here is it feels as though you are possibly coming into a really good partnership. If you're not already there, some of you could be already there. I feel like if this is in the workplace for you, I feel like you are going to become the head of something. So you might be promoted, you might get a raise, or you might be just put at the head of a project. It feels like you are being noticed as the emperor, the person who has the most wisdom, the person who has the most knowledge, the person who is the leader. Other people will follow. You don't have to ask people to follow the emperor. But I also feel like there are people in your work life, I think it's in your life in general, to be honest, that see you as somebody who is very stable and sturdy, someone who keeps it all together, and who is very serious about progress. So we have the Three of Pentacles here, and that is partnership. That can be the workplace, because this is also about people watching you work. But it definitely is about something being in your wheelhouse, or a group of people, a community, a friend of a friend, or it can be people that you cooperate and collaborate with on a regular basis. I feel like you're stepping into an energy here where collaboration and cooperation is going to be very easy in any of the partnerships that you make. And I want to say that I think it's because they do see you as the emperor, as you stepping into your power, or you're being noticed as someone who has a wide range. You can see that branch mustache there is a wide range of knowledge, wearing a hat of a bunch of books. I think that's what it is. Yep. Tell me more about Aries. I think something's coming into alignment, because when I see the Nine of Cups, it feels like alignment. And I think this is going to happen for you quite quickly here. The Eight of Wands has shown up to say something is moving forward with velocity, possibly something that may have not been going very quickly. Three of Pentacles is now about to speed up. I always see this particular Chariot in this deck as hurry up and wait. It almost feels like you are somebody who has been waiting for something to catch, like to get ground, for something to move forward here. There is something that's been brewing under the surface, I would say, and it is about to move you forward to some sort of victory. We've got the Empress energy here. Well, look at that. Look-see. I feel like you'll be working in a partnership with a counterpart. And this could be romantic for you if that's the lens you're looking at today. I feel like somebody here who is the emperor will be encountering an empress, and I feel like when you do, things move forward very quickly. This could be in the workplace. This could be someone else that you are collaborating with in the workplace, someone who is on your level, someone who maybe is head of a different department. Maybe you'll be collaborating with that department. But I think that with the Six of Pentacles here and the Three of Pentacles here, it tells me that collaboration with the Empress is going to be easy. It's going to be fluid. It's going to, with the two of these people, they're both on the same vibration. They're both people who have a lot of drive to succeed by themselves, not because of everybody around them, but because they're used to succeeding whether people are watching or not. I feel like there is somebody here who is, like if you're a manager, so are they. Or there is somebody who is coming in to collaborate with you. It could be romantic for you. Absolutely it could be. But partnership is where we begin. Partnership is not romance. But it looks like there is going to be very practical back and forth, very practical reciprocal energy. If you approach this person will give you reciprocal energy. I think you are going to pursue this person, whether it is purely for partnership or other. I think that you will be very attracted to this person. Whoever this is, it could be a Libra or a Taurus. It doesn't have to be. We've got Aries here, right? Pisces is here, as well as Sagittarius and Cancer. I would say that there is an attraction. The cards are touching, right? There's an attraction between you and the Empress, because the Empress is in the most attractive energy she's ever been in. And so she attracts what she is. All of us do, by the way. There's no way you can attract what you are not. If you are not someone who takes care of yourself, your body, your money, you're not attracting someone like that. And if you do, it'll be short term. So we've got someone here who's been attracting you. Listen, I feel like you're the one that's got to pursue. This person is going to slow down so you can catch them. They're not going to run if you pursue. But I feel like this person is not going to pursue you. I want to say that that either the Emperor or the Empress, or maybe both, have possibly been in a stage in life where they have regrets from speaking too soon or moving aggressively. I feel like the King of Wands is here because the King of Wands doesn't move as aggressively as the Knight of Swords. Why? Because the King of Wands has wisdom, just like the Emperor. The King of Wands knows when to set things aflame and when to not, when to just pursue quietly. And I think that this lesson comes on the heels of something that was possibly emotionally regrettable, is what it feels like here. Something that went from the 3 of Cups to the 5 of Cups. We've got the 8 of Pentacles. This definitely feels like either a work relationship or it feels like a relationship where we are creating something together. You two probably either have the same level of education or you both are subject matter experts and you're coming together to combine 2 teams, combine your intelligence, whatever that is. It feels like the 2 of you are quite honestly attracting each other. And I feel, I'm going to be honest, I feel like there's a surface attraction. I feel like you'll be attracted physically to this person, but I also feel like there's going to be some emotional attraction underneath the surface. Tell me what the outcome is here. We've got the 7 of Swords. We've got the Death card. And we've got the Judgment card. Well, isn't that interesting? Because when the 7 of Swords popped out, I was like, oh, but somebody isn't going to say. They're going to keep it professional. They're going to keep it in the Pentacle world, practical, professional, cooperative, collaborative. When I saw the 7 of Swords, I thought somebody is going to conceal all of this. They're not going to say something. But then the Death card shows up and says, yes, but this is setting you up for some sort of transformation. And eventually you will say something, because the Death card is here with the 7 of Swords. And I was like, oh, well, how are you going to say something? Well, the Judgment card is going to be asking you to answer the call. This might be a situation that's coming up again and again and again. And I feel like it's asking you to pay attention to it. So whether you end up working with this person, collaborating with this person, getting to know this person in a practical way, on a personal level, through reciprocal energy, I feel it all leads to wish fulfillment, I'm going to say. Let's see what's coming up around the corner here for you, Aries. We've got the 2 of Wands. So we're sleeping underneath the same big sky, somewhere out there beneath the clear moonlight. I always get that when I see this particular 2 of Wands. It feels like somebody has been looking at the moon, wondering if you're looking at it too, or if there is even someone out there for me, somewhere out there beneath the clear moonlight. I feel like there is somebody out there for you if you are somebody who's single. If we're not talking about romance, though, I'm going to say that the whole plan of the universe, because the Death card and the Judgment card are here, the universe is conspiring with a plan to bring these 2 people together for a purpose. We've got the Moon to reveal something. I feel like you 2 are supposed to take each other across the blue line. I'm seeing hockey, sorry. I'm very Canadian. I feel like somebody here is inviting you across the blue line and saying, come on, come on. Yeah, it feels like with the Moon energy here, with the 3 of Swords, it feels like I'm looking at the 5 of Cups and the 3 of Swords. It feels like the last leg of the race is here, and you 2 are meant to come together to heal each other, to heal regret, to heal heartbreak. And I feel like that's a plan. We've got the Moon energy here. Something's going to be revealed. What is it? Temperance, healing, as I was just saying, right? Ace of Cups, there we go. That's what I think is going on here. For those of you who are looking at this as love relationship, I feel like you're about to meet someone who's going to push you into the friend zone, but understand, please, that this person just wants to go slow because they feel like they have a lot to lose, especially when the emperor meets the empress, because the emperor has to be very careful as so as not to have his whole empire overthrown by someone who is definitely on his level. So I feel like with this Ace of Cups here and the Knight of Cups, it does feel like it turns romantic, but it just might take some time. It's not going to be right away. This person's not going to divulge all their secrets right away. They are the emperor. They have to first make a decision to do so. We do have the Two of Pentacles here, and so it tells me that things start out a little bit wobbly. So I'm going to say, Aries, maybe you just don't get along with the Empress right away. Maybe you see that person, maybe that person holds the mirror up to you and you're like, oh, I don't think I like that. They might, whatever you say, they might throw back at you. They might mirror your energy. Got Piscean energy and Sagittarius, Pisces and Cancer. We've got Taurus, Aries energy and Virgo. We have Gemini. We've also got Scorpio energy. We've got Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, Virgo, and Pisces, Libra, and Taurus. More Aries energy, more Scorpio energy. We've got Cancer, Sagittarius, and Piscean energy with Capricorn energy as well. All right. Taurus. Taurus, how are ya? How are you, my bull gang? Thank you so much for clicking here. I appreciate you. Let's find out what's going on for you in the next 7 days, Taurus. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. For Taurus, for the next 7 days. Tell me about Taurus. What can Taurus expect in the next 7 days? We've got, okay, the Two of Wands is here. Very interesting. Feels like the Two of Wands is telling me that you are sitting at a place in your life where you're kind of at a crossroads. Maybe you're confidently at the crossroads, I want to say. It feels like confidence. I won't be surprised if we see the Nine of Pentacles. But it feels like, you know what, I'm just going to wait here and wait to make my decision. I'm going to be patient here. We've got the Three of Cups. Interesting. We've got the Two of Pentacles. More decision making. So I think that this is the plan. I want to say that this is you having gotten to the crossroads by slowly making a plan. It feels like it's a plan that you're happy with, but I also feel like it's a plan that you want to put into the 3D, but I feel like, you know, what's the point? I don't really have a point just yet. So maybe you're comfortable enough to be at the Two of Wands without quite making a decision to take action on your plan. But when you do, it feels like this Two of Pentacles being here tells me you execute the plan in the 3D. So everybody's going to see it, or it's going to be something that is going to become realistic or real. It's going to go from a feeling of planning or putting it on paper to actually making it real. We've got the Moon energy here. Things are not as they seem. I think that this plan that you have for yourself, it could be financial, friend. It could be very emotional. But either way, I feel like this Three of Cups is telling me that you are in this energy of celebration, that you're happy, that you probably have good people around you. You might not be telling your friends with the Moon here and the Three of Cups, you might not be telling your friends what your plan is. It might be something that you're keeping to yourself. We do have the Four of Swords because you might be in a healing phase. You might be healing something. You could be healing finances. You could be healing deep emotional things. It feels like you could be healing and making a plan to heal. Maybe you're in the middle of your healing. We've got the Ace of Swords, but I think you'll speak soon. You know what this feels like? It feels like someone's been home for a while. Have you been home for a while, Taurus? It feels like someone has been away from their friend group, their soul tribe. Feels like somebody here is going to execute the plan, going to tell their friends about it, the people that they love the most, that they can celebrate with. But it feels like the Ace of Swords tells me that it's going to be very clear. A very clear message. What is that? You sent me a clear message. Sorry, I got a song in my head. Oh, I forgot that you existed. That's what it is, Taylor Swift. I forgot that you existed. So I really do feel like somebody's been home for a while. And I don't think that this is anything like terrible. I'm going to say, but it feels like that you've been in your own little world for a while, Taurus. And I feel like you're going to be raising your head, maybe after some sort of strife. I'm going to say there's 5 swords here. Maybe they're after some sort of strife, argument or fight, or somebody that you have fundamental differences with. It feels like it might have been emotional. Maybe something happened in your life emotionally. Maybe it's connected to something romantic, but it feels like it's connected to something that's deeply emotional. And I feel like it made you retreat. I don't think you're hiding, understand. It made you retreat and rethink the plan. Because the Ace of Swords is here with the Two of Wands. It tells me that you were healing and I was rethinking the plan. Something here with the Ace of Cups in the reverse you thought was a new beginning with somebody ended up not being a new beginning with somebody here. We've got the King of Swords. I think they're going to see a different Taurus. I'm going to say. We've got the Ten of Cups. And we've got the 5 of Coins. Yeah, I do feel that you have been away from friends or family, or maybe you've just been like going to work, going home, going to work, going home. I feel like there is something that possibly isn't as it seems. So what I mean about that is that it feels like there could be people in your life are saying, why is Taurus just keeping to themselves? Are they depressed? What's going on? Like it feels like that sort of energy, and things are not as they seem to everybody else. I feel like what you were doing is a recalibration. I feel like you were recalibrating the GPS. That's what it feels like. I feel as though when you do finally come out to see your friends, they're going to see a very different Taurus. I feel, Taurus, that you are going to be in your King of Swords energy, which means honest and truthful, factual. You're going to let them know that you're happy. It's not that you were burrowing or that you were crying in your pillow at night. I feel like you're just going to say, yeah, I just needed to disconnect, to recalibrate. I was feeling like my social battery was draining, or I was feeling like I was spending too much money going out every weekend. It feels like what it seems to them is that you've backed away. You made a decision to back away from the social group. And I feel like it's because you were planning something. I feel like you may divulge your plan, but I honestly do feel like this is on the heels of some sort of deeply emotional thing that didn't go well for you. It might have been you started dating someone and it didn't work out, or something like that. We've got the King of Cups. Yeah, it feels as though I think that it was probably something that hurt you deeply and emotionally. And I feel like when they question you about it, you're going to give them the King of Cups. You're going to give them like, it's fine. It's fine. I disconnected because my emotional battery was low. 5 of Pentacles, and I'm actually quite happy. I have been looking at details and planning my life, possibly financially, right? Making a better plan for my financial life. I have been maybe lurking around in the moon energy, not really knowing where I was going, and I waited until I got clarity before I came back out again. But I do feel like this happens on the heels of something happening that's deeply emotional, and you said, no, that's it. No. Because the King of Swords has really good boundaries, right? And you're like, I'm not putting up with that. Leave me alone. I think that you just backed away from the whole group. We've got the 5 of Wands. Got the 6 of Coins. Everybody's going to be battling for your attention. I feel like you've been away for a while. I think people missed you, and I think people are going to be battling for your attention, friend, because the 6 of Cups is here with the 5 of Wands, and I feel like it's like competition to give you reciprocal energy. And then we have the Knight of Swords. So I feel like there is going to be people battling for your attention. So if you go out into a group of people, you go out to be social with them, I think the people are going to be like, whoa, Taurus is here. Where the hell have you been? And I think everybody's going to be battling for your attention. Look, I think you needed to disconnect because I think you needed to heal from something that happened that made you deeply emotional. And you didn't know what was going on here until you finally got clarity and realized, look, I have the last word. I can be happy if I want to. I can be happy while I am alone. I don't have to be submerged. So I don't have to have a reason to go off grid and be by myself. I think you just gave yourself permission to do it. What's around the corner? We have the High Priestess. They are going to question you. Knight of Swords and the High Priestess. They're going to question you why you cut everybody off. And honestly, I don't think you did it for any terrible reason. I think you just needed to recalibrate. You felt like life was out of control. Things were out of control. Money may have been out of control. It feels like you did it for a reason. Maybe your emotions became out of control. It feels like you did it for a reason of healing. You were arguing with yourself possibly because the 5 swords are here, right? We've got the 6 of cups. I think that's whatever happened here that's deeply emotional, whether it's romantic or not, it triggered something from the past. It feels like it triggered something from the past, and when it did, you went into complete silence. You went inward to take a look at yourself and say, why am I so out of control? Why did that make me feel so out of control? It's not that somebody did it to you. It's not that the situation didn't work out. I feel like you question yourself. Why am I so out of control? I feel like your battery is back in the green. I'm going to say with the Page of Pentacles that your battery is back into the green. And we got the 5 of Cups here. Queen of Pentacles, yeah. I feel like you're through some sort of sadness. You're now back standing up on your feet, taking care of yourself. And I feel like somebody here was going through something that was terrible. It feels like you had some sort of shift in your life that I feel it was a trigger from the past. And it might have been a romantic thing, but it doesn't have to be. But something happened that triggered you from your past and shifted you into this energy of no, no way, you're not getting to do that to me again. I think you go from the 5 of Pentacles to the Queen of Pentacles. I feel like you take care of your sadness, you take care of regret. Maybe you were being regrettable about your finances. I feel like whatever you were doing too much. It feels like, Taurus, you can get into a place where it's overindulgence, right? So it was like too much drinking or too much partying or too much eating out even. And I feel like while your social battery was draining, you weren't giving yourself enough time to continue along with the social battery. I think that you weren't giving yourself enough time between meetings with people. And I think you just needed to stop. And I think that's what you did. But they all probably took offense to it and thought, uh-oh, Taurus is mad at us. But I think you just needed to hang out with yourself for a while because you were battling something internally in the mind. We do have Scorpio energy here. We have Aries and Pisces, Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. We do have Taurus energy, more Pisces. We have Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. We have Pisces and Cancer, Capricorn. We have more Cancer energy, Aries. We have more Taurus energy, Libra, and the 5 of Wands is Leo energy. All right. Let's look at you, Gemini. Tell me about Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter for the next 7 days. Tell me about Gemini's. Tell me about Gemini, please. Gemini, thank you for all of your attention on the last video I put up for you. I appreciate it so very much. Tell me about Gemini, please, for the next 7 days. We've got the 6 of Cups. What's this, Gemini? We've got the 2 of Cups. Oh, gosh. You know what that says, right? To me, that really does feel like you're either really thinking about someone nostalgically, that I feel the 2 of Cups here is probably that you have a deep connection with, or that you have a deep bonded emotional connection with. And I feel like it's making you feel sad or overwhelmed because 6 and 2 is 8. It feels like you're trying to disconnect from either the thought pattern or the feeling, the over emotional feeling, but you're having a hard time doing that because I think we're talking about a romantic connection here, Gemmy. We do have the 4 of Pentacles, but look, you are holding your ground. You're like, but I'm not open to that anymore. I'm not open to the past, Elsie. The 4 of Pentacles is shut off, shut down, miserly with my time, efforts, energy, and money. However, I also think that the 4 of Pentacles is telling me that you are holding on tightly to the Knight of Cups. So I really do feel that, as we are in the last days here of Mercury retrograde, but we still have 2 more weeks of the post-shadow phase where Mercury is on speeding up again and making it, things are becoming clearer. I feel like you're in this emotional place where you're thinking nostalgically about people or a person that you have a deep emotional connection to. It could be romantic for you. We have the Star energy. You're thinking about someone specifically. I feel like you are mourning a lost connection here. It feels like you know that it wasn't good for you, so I don't think that you're going back or wishing that it would come back. I don't think that any of that's going on. But I do feel like you keep a stoic face when people mention this person's name. I feel like you're hoping that you will meet someone new. I think there is something new that is going to materialize here. I think that you are hopeful that you will meet someone new, but I think that you were deeply, deeply hurt about something. The thing is you're deeply hurt about someone in the past, and I don't think you've healed from it, friend. So keep that in mind as well. I feel like you're still feeling pushed to the outside. Although I don't think you want it back. I don't think you've healed enough here. Maybe that's why the star energy is here. We've got the Strength card. We've got the Eight of Cups. Oh, interesting, because we do have the Eight of Cups here, right? We called it out, and the Eight of Cups shows up, tells us we're on the right path. And then we have the Devil in reverse. Yes, you have to detach and let go. You must have the courage, Gemini, to detach and let go of the past. Even if that person were to come back, Gemini, I feel like that person is toxic and codependent, and there's a reason that you're not with them anymore. You either broke it off, and I think you did, or maybe they could have, but I think it was you. I feel like you're being asked to find the strength or the courage to release something. Hold back. Look, you're going to want to reach out and say something for some of you, not all of you. And if that's you, I think you're being asked to find your courage to detach and release this finally. Because I feel like this whole situation, as it sits in your mind, is a situation that's making you unable to be vulnerable with other people. We've got the Page of Swords in the reverse. You still don't have clarity as to what went on. Look, maybe you were cut off really quickly. Maybe this was a ghosting situation, right? Page of Swords is in the reverse, and then the Eight of Cups is here. It feels like somebody had no regard for your feelings. And so it does feel like the Page of Swords in the reverse is telling me that you just released it because this person ghosted you and blocked you. Or maybe you did that to them. So let's be clear. I don't think you want the situation back, but I feel like if you don't heal from it, it's going to interrupt anything new that shows up. Page of Pentacles, anything new that materializes in the future. If you're still holding on to this Knight of Cups, excuse me, I feel like it will, it's just not a good thing. You really must detach from it in order to be able to find anything else going forward. Yeah, you need to make a decision here. So the Two of Swords is here, and it is a block. And the block is the Nine of Pentacles. I don't think you like being single. I don't think you want to be single. I do feel like you are becoming more confident. I feel like you're probably in the glow up stage of your life, but it takes a long time to get there. It's hard to get there. And the Two of Swords tells me that you are dealing with a block about your singledom. I don't want to be single. I like to have a person in my life. And I like to have a person in my life as well. But I would say to you, what's the purpose? Are you asking that person to come in and make you happy? Because if you were happy on your own, you wouldn't be blocking this whole being single thing. We've got the Hermit in the reverse. Okay, so I do feel like you need to make a decision to come out of hermit mode if you do plan on meeting anybody. I think that I am speaking to someone who's single or who's very abundant on their own, very confident in the way they look, the way they are in the 3D. I feel like you're a person who's done pretty well for yourself. Like, and when I say that, I'm not saying that you're a millionaire, but I'm saying that you probably manage your debt. You probably take care of yourself in terms of health and wealth. We've got the King of Swords. We've got the Three of Cups. And we've got the Queen of Pentacles. I want to say that you are thinking about the good times. And I feel like it's time for you, with the King of Swords here, to bring this all back into reality and get out of this emotional thing. It's time to get back into your King of Swords energy, which is literal energy, which is energy that is not emotional. We started out with all this emotion, right? Knight of Cups, Two of Cups, Six of Cups, and Eight of Cups. And I feel like it's not only time for you to detach, but it's time for you to cut it away. Like, you need to cut it away. I feel like you will feel much better standing on your own, being on your own, taking care of yourself, but you need to learn to celebrate on your own here. Instead of wanting a person to come into your life to make you happy, you have to be happy or make yourself happy in order to attract somebody who also is. Because if you don't, all you're going to attract is somebody who's in the Seven of Swords. Somebody who acts like they're happy on the surface, but is not happy underneath the surface. Someone who is concealing their happiness, right? With the Three of Cups and the Seven of Swords. So I feel like you need to look at this in a very logical and practical way. And I feel like it's time for you to finally, the King of Swords, it has the final say and the final swoop. You need to just cut that thing out from the past, because you're going to be dragging it into every relationship if you don't. And there is something in the future for you here. I feel like there is somebody who you will meet in the future. And I think that you know it too. But I also feel like if you don't heal this, that you'll just jump in headfirst again with just whomever comes along and not take your time, get to know them inside and out. So you got to heal that wound, friend. I feel like there's a wound you have to heal, and the stars here trying to help you do it. We've got Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy, more Capricorn and Pisces. We've got Leo energy, Cancer energy, Libra, Aquarius and Gemini energy, more Piscean and Cancer, Libra energy, Taurus, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, and Aquarius energy, along with a little bit of Gemini on the bottom of the deck. There was the Lovers there, right? It's a choice, friend. It's a choice to let it go, and I feel like you really have to let it go, or it's going to drag into the next relationship. All right, Cancer, let's find out what's going on for you, friend. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Things are about to get exponentially well for you. Tell me about Cancer. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter signs for the next 7 days. Tell me about Cancer. Tell me what's going to expand for Cancer. Okay, happiness, emotional happiness, friend. Very grounded, solid, emotional happiness. We've got the Hanged Man in the reverse. I like this. Look, when Jupiter in your sign was in retrograde, it was hard to make decisions. You felt like you were spinning your wheels, not being able to move forward. Nothing was moving. Nothing was expanding. And now the Hanged Man shows up in the reverse and says, ta-da! I feel like you're getting some sort of perspective on happiness or relationships, possibly. But the Hanged Man is getting that aha moment, the realization, I finally see the perspective. I finally gotten clear perspective, clear, the sun show or the world card shows up. I found clear perspective on what it is that I really want. I think you really do want the Ten of Cups. And the Ten of Cups is, emotional happiness. It's joy. You can have it on your own, but there's two people on the card. It tells me that possibly you might be ready for a new relationship. This is a new world for you. I agree, because I feel like it took you a long time to get to this place. And the world card is Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, and that tells us energy that is fixed, which it takes a very, very long time. You are closing an old chapter, friend, because you've come to a perspective, or you've had some sort of an aha moment that I feel like I see the sun here, right? I see the sun here, and I feel like something is becoming very clear. Tell me more about Cancer. It's like you can think clearly, or now you see what will make you happy, or you realize that you are happy by yourself. We've got the King of Wands, and I feel like you've gained wisdom through this retrograde period. When Jupiter was in retrograde in your sign, I feel like you've really gained some wisdom. I feel what you get after the chapter closes here is wisdom of the King of Wands, knowing how to use the controlled burn. Look, when we don't know how to control our fire, we tend to give it to whoever wants it. We tend to run after things, pursue things. I feel like you're still in pursuit, because look, the King of Wands always gets what they want if they're going to pursue it. But I feel like the King of Wands is, this energy is like, now I know that I have a controlled burn. I know exactly what I want. I'm going to pursue it, but I'm going to pursue it in wisdom instead of just in fire. Tell me about the Ten of Cups here. What's going to make you happy? we've got the Ten of Swords. So you're letting go of a pretty heavy cycle. You may have been betrayed by someone in a relationship, in your family. It might be an emotional betrayal, and I feel like you're releasing this, because the Ten of Swords isn't only a hardship of an ending, but you know, the end of the cycle is always super hard. And I feel like as you were coming to this crescendo before Jupiter went direct, I feel like things were really hard. Like it feels like you were trying to find a perspective about what really makes you happy. And so it feels like you finally get your perspective when you finally release the 10 swords, is what it feels like. The 10 swords is the release. Look, we focus on the downtrodden, hard, yeah, this is betrayal, sadness, hurt. Yes, absolutely. But please understand the Ten of Swords is the end of the cycle. You get to release it. But it is totally up to you as to whether you want to release it or not. You can carry it around if you want. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. And we've got the 10 of Pentacles. Oh, I like this. Look, I feel like somebody here has been working towards something. It feels like you've been working toward maybe a new job, or maybe getting better positioned financially. It feels like you've been saving money, putting money away possibly. It also could feel like you've been slowly pursuing your stability for the future. I feel like it's only because you're able to be in this energy of the 10 of Cups now. It feels like you're more in this energy of positivity, that you feel cautiously optimistic, but you're back in, I would say, back in your fire energy. You're back in this energy of, yeah, I'm ready to pursue what I want now. I think that you were moving slower, moving carefully, moving very practically. I feel like you were saving money or looking into the future and saying, I need to build a future or a legacy in my life. It's time for me to let go of the things that were holding me back, close the chapter, find my perspective. And I think the perspective that you come up with is, I'm pretty damn happy. And so I feel like you're going to be moving forward here with a much brighter outcome. Like you have a much better outlook, I would say. An optimistic outlook about the things that you want to pursue. We have the 8 of Pentacles. You might be looking for a new job. We have the 8 of Cups. You might be leaving a new job to look for a new job. And then we have the Hierophant. Yeah, it does feel like this Hierophant energy here is what I think that you are no longer the student. I think you've become the teacher. And so possibly you've outgrown the place that you are. It feels like the Hierophant being the teacher and no longer the student. It feels like you've learned something about emotions, about not just giving your emotional self or all of your feelings or all of your emotional energy to something where it's not the whole 10 cups. I think you've come to some sort of teaching about the 8 of Cups. I don't have to settle for anything I don't want to settle for. All I have to do is work hard, and I can pursue whatever I want. I can pursue financial stability. I can pursue happiness. I can pursue a relationship. It's almost like you become more obviously happy than you were before. Yep, it feels like you're ready to come out of your cave. I gotta say, because the Hierophant is here, and look, Taurus likes to stay home. Look, don't ever threaten Taurus with, I'm going to cancel plans, because don't ever threaten Taurus with a good time. But I feel like you've been probably homebound or by yourself, and just making a plan for the future. I feel like you're coming out of some sort of time that you've been spent. I mean, spring is coming, right? For a lot of you who live in the winter, spring is coming, and I think that you're ready to give reciprocal energy to people, but you are only going to give all of your energy, time, effort, all of that stuff that you've learned about the Hierophant energy, you're only going to give it to people that are very practical, that move very slow, people who are dependable, people who you can trust, right? The outcome is you. The King of Cups is here. We've got the 9 of Cups. So I feel like you are feeling pretty happy, and I feel like you're feeling more optimistic about the future these days. The King of Cups is here. Look, I never met a Cancer who's ever going to show anybody their excitement on the surface. Unless you get to know Cancer really, really well, right? Unless maybe you got some crazy fire in the rising. You're not a person who's going to emote on the surface about your happiness or about the new cycle that's here or about being back in alignment. I feel like you're back in alignment is what it feels like here. And we have the Six of Swords. Yeah, there's movement. So it does feel like you're feeling optimistic about the future. And now I can move forward. I'm out of the chaos. I am now feeling far more aligned than I was. And I feel like you are feeling deeply happy. Not just happy on the outside, but happy on the inside. That's what it feels like here, because the Nine of Cups is something you built on your own, which means you don't need any external validation. I feel good about myself. What's around the corner for Cancer? We've got the Nine of Swords. We've got the Knight of Cups. Oh, you're ready for romance, but you're not really... Like, you're ready for romance, but you're worried about the whole process of it. I feel like the Nine of Swords tells me there's worry about the Knight of Cups. There's worry about me tripping upon someone who I might be interested in at some point. And the Seven of Swords, and then I'm going to have to share myself all over again. So I feel like you've been healing from something. I feel like you have been lied to in relationships before. I feel although you are ready to meet new people, give reciprocal energy, I feel like you are thinking about someone from the past, possibly. Six of Cups is here, but the Seven of Swords with the Knight of Cups feels to me like I don't really trust that whole system. The whole meeting someone, dating someone, getting to the talking stage 100 times. I feel like you're worried here about someone showing up that wants to move too fast. Because understand, I feel like you've been through a troubled time, and I think that you're feeling, for the first time, more optimistic. Like you can move forward. Like you can, like it feels like you've come into a place in your life where you're emotionally intelligent, and you are, you're not giving everybody your emotions. You're actually dealing with people in a bit of a detached way. It feels like you could be leaving a job or removing yourself from a situation where you feel that you've not been thriving. It feels like you might be leaving memories behind as well, memories of other people, but I still feel like this here tells me you do want to move forward, but you're still unsure about this whole dating scene, I would say, about that. Tell me what this is here. This realization. Yeah, I think it's a realization that you do want to have some sort of relationship. I do want to have a partner. And so the Three of Wands is telling me that you've come to this this moment of perspective where, yes, I do want to share my life with somebody. Yes, I do want to be in this lover's energy, sharing with somebody in the future, Three of Wands, and I want it to be happy. But I think that this energy here, I didn't understand why this came up all of a sudden, but now I understand it more, because it looks like that the Five of Wands, you're battling the self. Because I know if I go out there and get social, I'm apt to meet somebody. And I'm not really sure if I'm ready for all of that. Although I do want it, I'm not sure if I'm ready for all of that. I think that because you're no longer sitting there in your head, maybe in the house, I feel like you probably will meet someone in a social situation. So we've got Cancer energy, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, and Gemini. We've got Aries, Pisces energy, Sagittarius. We've got Taurus and Cancer, sorry, not Cancer, but Scorpio energy. We've got Piscean energy and Virgo. We've got more Piscean energy and more Virgo. We've got Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, Virgo, Piscean energy, Gemini, and we've got Piscean energy, Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer energy. You're showing up as ready with wisdom, and I feel like you're ready for something, but you're not ready for the process in which to get it. And I think we're talking about a relationship. Let's talk about you, Leo. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. And this is for the next 7 days, Leo. Tell me about Leo. Tell me about Leo. We've got the Six of Swords. You're moving on from something, friend, or there's movement. There's finally movement here. Maybe you've been stuck on something. We've got the Six of Wands in the reverse. I feel like you were stuck on something. It feels like you were stuck in the dark night of the soul, or stuck in a cycle which wasn't easy. I feel like you were having a hard time moving forward from something here, but I feel like the Six of Swords tells me that you are going to be able to move forward. Just making sure that all these cards, yeah, okay. We've got the the 10 of Cups is in the reverse. So I think that you're having a hard time moving forward from a very emotional cycle that ended up in disillusionment. And what I mean by that is I thought this was going to be different than it was. I thought it was going to work out. And it didn't work out. And I'm not really sure why it didn't work out. But the 6 of Wands is I didn't get any victory. And now I'm stuck here, wondering why I didn't get the victory. It's disillusionment. I thought this was my 10 of Cups, but it wasn't. It looked like it, but it wasn't. And so the 6 of Swords is saying, it's okay, get out of the chaos of your head and move forward here, friend. It didn't work, but I feel like you're kind of stuck back there a little bit. We have the Hanged Man. So the Hanged One energy is trying to get perspective. So I feel like you might be in the next 7 days still stuck in your head, a perspective. It feels like you might be thinking about someone, possibly Piscean related, somebody you might feel psychically connected to. Could be another Leo, but I think this is your energy. Could be Gemini. I feel like that you are trying to look at a past situation with perspective, trying to find out what happened back there, because I thought it was going to work out and now I'm in disillusionment. Was it me or was it them? I feel like you're trying to get clarity with this 6 of Swords here, trying to move to a calmer place in the mind. I think you need to get out of the chaos of thinking about the past here, Leo. We've got the Sun that's coming up. There we go. So I feel like you are going to get clarity on the situation. I feel like you are going to get clarity. You're going to have some sort of a breakthrough and something's going to be revealed to you because you're in this place where I think it's time for you to move forward. I feel like you will get your perspective. We've got the Page of Wands. Starting to get your mojo back, friend. And we got the 3 of Swords. Yeah. So after a broken heart, after this whole situation was disappointing, I feel like you're starting to just get your mojo back. The Page of Wands is here. I'm going to say that the Sun is here, and Leo, you don't do really well in the winter. You don't do very well in the winter. You do much better in the summer. You like the summer months. You like the sun. You do much better under the sun. And I feel like that's what's coming, that you're about to get your mojo back. I feel like something's being revealed to you, which is the Page of Wands. You start to get that little spark within back again. I think that you spent probably the winter months or the colder months thinking about, how did I find myself here? How did I get into this situation of heartbreak? And I think that the worry, 3 and 6 is 9. I think that the worry is it's just going to repeat itself. I'm going to tell you this. It will repeat itself unless you get perspective. Once you finally get perspective, then you have a realization, and then that doesn't happen again. I think the realization is coming. So I think that you are scared the situation is going to repeat itself, maybe with a different person or a different situation. No, I think you're moving away from this. Once you get your perspective, I think that you are actually moving away for some sort of victory. You are holding on to the hope that I can just shove my emotions down, but I can keep my balance and really I'm going to say discipline your emotional energy. I feel like right now you are holding on to the hope that there is going to be victory coming in the future, and I think you're right. The Queen of Swords is here. Look, you just need to be honest with yourself. You need to be honest with yourself and other people. So I would say, if you meet someone, stop ignoring the red flags. It's not a carnival, friend. The red flags are red flags. Stop ignoring the red flags. The Queen of Swords is saying, be honest with yourself and be honest with other people. And when you are completely and totally authentic and honest with yourself, you liberate yourself really quickly from a situation that is not working for you. So stay in this energy of not giving everybody your emotional energy. And I feel like you should pick or choose. And the people who like you for being in swords and not in emotional energy, the people who enjoy that you are disciplined in your emotional energy, Cancer, right? Those people, I think, are the ones who are going to hang out with you. Those are the ones you can hold on to. But the Queen of Swords, I feel, is also saying, look, put up your boundaries, because whoever can't handle you at your worst can't handle you at your best, and they actually don't deserve you at your best. So I think you just need to put up some boundaries and let some people wander off. Got the Emperor, yes. Get serious about who you are letting in and who you are not letting in. Take control of your situation and be really serious about the Four of Pentacles. about being miserly with your time, efforts, energy, and money. Look, you're the overgiver of the fire signs. You're the one who's going to overgive and be at somebody's beck and call. You need to stop doing those things. You need to pull it in, be serious about your energy, and get in control of your emotions and your thought patterns. I think you just need to be really honest with yourself about what to do from here. I think things are going to become far clearer when the sun comes out, when the sun is out more often. We are moving now. We're in the springtime, right? Aries season. Our reset is coming up, right? We go to the top of the astrological chart, and it's time for things to thaw, right? We're in a new season here. We've got the Lovers. Why is that? We've got the Strength card, choosing to be strong, choosing to be courageous. I think that's what the Sun is going to give you with the Hanged Man energy. It's going to give you the perspective that I have choice. And if I choose to be courageous or strong, or if I can choose to hold back, Page of Cups is here, then there are no surprises. I feel like that you are going to meet somebody, if you're looking at this as a romantic reading, I feel like you are going to meet someone of a romantic interest. I feel like that person is probably coming at you in your season. So from about the end of July to around about the end of August, well, about in the 20s, right? The 22nd or 23rd of July, all the way through to August. I feel like it's probably then when you meet somebody. The Strength card is here as well, which is also your energy. You're going to feel the strongest, the most courageous in your season, I feel. And I think it's just because you thrive under the sun. Tell me what's around the corner for Leo. We've got the Page of Pentacles. Yep, something's about to materialize or be seen in the 3D. We've got the Eight of Wands, and then things will move forward here. We've got the King of Swords, but you've got to remain in this energy, and that's your warning in this reading, I think. You've got to remain in your kinged energy. You got to remain in your swords energy. So looking at things very logically, very grounded, right? Non-emotional. Yeah, I feel like you could be somebody who needs to practice this King of Swords energy, getting all the information before you run at things. The Eight of Wands is quick moving energy. Before you run at things and are passionate about things and show someone your passion, please practice the Page of Pentacles. Please just give them a little bit of your energy, time, or effort, and be very logical and honest and within reason, right? Be very practical and logical about how you are giving away your energy. Got the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands tells me, yep, it's time for you to stand up for yourself. And not everybody has earned the right to be your friend, to be a part of your life, to be a part of your romantic life, right? I feel like this is how you are coming into alignment. Yeah, it's because the King of Cups. Look, this whole reading has been about that. It's about disciplining your emotions, right? Not giving away all of your fire and water at the very beginning. And so I feel like emotional intelligence, knowing that not everybody deserves all of your emotions. Not everybody deserves all of your passion. I feel like it's you coming into alignment with your emotional energy. We have the Seven of Cups here. Yeah, instead of being all discombobulated in the Seven of Cups. Because I feel like you are going to meet somebody in a social situation, and the King of Wands is here. Good. I feel like you have learnt the energies of the Emperor. So King of Wands is here, King of Cups is here, King of Swords is here. This is wisdom, right? The only one we haven't seen is King of Pentacles. Maybe still going to get your money and your pentacle world and your pentacle life in order. But I feel like you're through the hardest parts of it here. Got Piscean energy and Leo. We've got Sagittarius. We've got Aries energy. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy. More Cancer. We've got a lot of the pages here. We've got your energy here a couple of times. We've got more Pisces energy, and we have the Lovers that is Gemini. We've got Gemini energy here. Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer energy here in your read. All right, Virgo. Let's find out what's going on with Virgo. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Virgo, please. Tell me about Virgo. For the next 7 days for Virgo, not just sun signs, right? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Virgo. We've got the Chariot. Tell me what's going on here. Somebody's coming out of Hermit energy here. We've got the Ten of Wands. And the Six of Swords. You're leaving something behind here. Virgo, I think you're leaving something behind here. I think that you've been spending some time by yourself, but I also feel with the Ten of Wands and the Hermit energy here, it makes me feel like you've been carrying around something that's heavy. And I feel like what's heavy is you're being really hard on yourself. It's like you're in this energy of, I'm not disciplined enough. I need to be more disciplined with my time, my effort, my energy. I need to be more disciplined with my fire. I need to be more disciplined with my emotions. It feels like you're in hermit mode, kind of dismantling the self. I want to say you need to move on from that, friend, because the Six of Swords is here. It's like, get out of your head. Get out of your head, friend. It's time to go to the calmer place. Get out of this chaos here. The Ten of Wands is telling me that you've been heavily weighed down by something that is probably deeply spiritual or deeply emotional. And when we do have the Chariot energy here, to me the Chariot energy is not only victory and success, it's not only fast movement, but it also is discipline. Like, you got to be disciplined to keep that chariot on the road, right? So I feel like there's a balancing of things going on. It's time for you to get out of this hermit energy, where I feel it's been good for your spirituality and the growth of it, but I also feel like when you're alone too much, that you are in your head, and it's time for you to get out of your head. The High Priestess is here. I feel like you haven't been speaking to people. Maybe you've been silent, being like deeply within. That's what this all feels like here. It's time for you to get out of your head, stop being so hard on you, and get out around people. I feel like you will do that because the Chariot is here. Tell me about the Chariot, please. We've got the Ten of Pentacles, sorry. We've got the Four of Cups. And we've got the Strength card. So I feel like part of the reason that you may have been in hermit energy is that you were carrying some sort of financial burden, possibly. Maybe you were just trying to go over the details of you. I feel like you've come to the knowledge of something, and that you are, I'm going to say that I don't think that you initially wanted to go into hermit energy. Look, we never say 2 o'clock on a Tuesday we're going into hermit energy. It happens quite by accident, right? We get to a place where we're looking something over. It's like hitting the rabbit hole when you go online, right? You click here and then you click there and it says to click here and you click there, and before you know it, you're in the rabbit hole. Same thing when you go on TikTok, right? So I feel like it almost feels like a bit of a rabbit hole that you were in, and I feel like it has to do with your finances or your future finances, a job, maybe your health, wealth, time, energy, effort. What am I doing with all of this? I see this guy here with all those books around him, right? And so it feels like you were digging for information or digging for knowledge. And I feel like it got you in this place of comfort where you don't have to deal with people. I also feel like you were probably saving money. You might have been dealing with a financial burden of some sort, and I feel like you're trying to find your way out of some sort of financial burden. I feel like this Strength card is telling me that you are finding strength and courage to do something, or that you were holding back, right? Holding back with the 10 Pentacles. I think the 10 Pentacles is the result of you holding back and staying in this comfort zone here. But I think it's becoming a little bit stagnant. I think that's why the Chariot has shown up here. It's time for you to go. It's time for you to move to a calmer place here. It's going to take a decision. We've got the King of Wands in the reverse. Don't do it like that because you think you should. I think it should be something that you think about, control your impulses. Maybe you think you're ready to go out and about because now you can control your impulses. It does feel like you were carrying something that was kind of heavy, some sort of a burden. So it couldn't have been an emotional burden. But look, sometimes emotions are connected to the future, connected to our legacy, connected to our money, time, effort, sometimes our health. It could be that. But the King of Wands in the reverse is somebody who is, I would say, is not acting impulsively, but is also sort of thinking things over. It does really feel like this King of Wands is thinking about, where do I put my time, effort, and energy? What am I going to pursue next? I feel like you do want to do something, pursue something. The Knight of Wands is here telling me that you're very brave and that you're ready to use your fire, but I feel like you're making this as a calm decision. I don't think it's something that you're jumping into really quickly here because of money. It really does feel like it's something that is financially related for you. I feel like you're being very careful with your abundance and how you spend your money. I feel like you enjoy having financial stability. You're making careful choices about how you are. I think that takes bravery, by the way, in a world where everybody just wants you to buy, everything and get into debt and hammer on your credit rating and all of that. I think you're being very, very practical and very grounded and very careful about how you build your kingdom. And I want to say that you're doing it deliberately, like you're doing it with intention. These aren't, it's not a series of bad decisions that you're making or just being brave and saying, I'm going out tonight, I'm going to spend $500. I don't think you're doing that. I think you're being very careful and disciplined about your future, your finances. It feels like that's what's in your train of thought in the next 7 days here. The outcome is the 8 of Cups. We've got the 3 of Wands. And we've got the 4 of Wands. Oh, you might be saving for a house. Yeah, I feel like you're looking at maybe buying property in the future. The 3 of Wands tells me that your future is about to expand. And what's next to the 3 of Wands is the 4 of Wands. Feels like you want to go to the next level of your life. I really feel like this was a place of contemplation and not just a place where you're licking wounds, but I feel like it's a place of contemplation. Your spiritual contemplation, your financial contemplation. What am I doing for work? How do I make more money? How do I save money? How do I build my kingdom? Like it feels like you detached from the outside world in order to go into the hermit energy, because I feel like you're looking at, what do I do from here? How am I going to plan for the future from here? Because we are in crazy ass economic times, right? I think that you went into planner mode here. What's around the corner? We've got the High Priestess. We've got the Justice card. And we've got the King of Swords. Yeah, I feel like you're like, I'm justified. I'm justified getting my intuitive harmony, restoring things, restoring my finances, restoring my thought patterns, I feel like this was a restorative time for you. And so I feel like going forward now, you're making better decisions. You're making them, practically and literally and with facts, and you're not moving really forward really quickly. You're judge and jury, I would say. You're the person who is like, is that going to be good for my future or is it not? And I feel like you're making unilateral decisions. You're not asking other people. You're doing it by yourself, because the King of Pentacles is the one on the throne that is actually making a decision for other people. So other people might be coming to you for financial wellness information. We do have the 5 of Wands. I think they're still going to fight it though. Look at this. We've got the something here is going to shift. I think that people are going to meet a new Virgo after you have been in this hermit energy for a while. I think the person that they're going to meet, I feel like the fight that you've had with yourself is shifting you into the Queen of Swords energy, which is you're liberating yourself with your words. And when people are like, yeah, it doesn't matter, let's just go out on a shopping spree, you're like, what are you doing? Do you see this economy? What are you doing? Why are you doing that? Like, I feel like you're just being really honest and truthful with yourself and people around you. Like, you've shifted into this different cycle than you were back there. And I'm not saying that you were being irresponsible with your money, but I think that you really have an eye on being the subject matter expert on that right now, because you're trying to figure out how to move forward here. And I think that it's responsibility. Being solid, standing on business. Maybe you're building a business, but I think maybe you want to move forward with a business possibly, or start your own business. It feels like I'm not into just spending money anymore. I'm into really being very, very clear and very practical about my future and how I'm doing that. So I think that you, in the next 7 days, are really going into this energy of being by yourself, liberating yourself from anything you don't need, and then taking the rest. We've got Scorpio, we've got Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. We got Libra, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, and Gemini. More Sagittarius and Virgo, Pisces, Cancer, Leo, more Cancer energy. We've got Virgo again, and we've got Aries. All right. Let's get to you, Libra. I'm kind of invested in you lately, Libra. Your readings have been like, wow. You're really going to be having a really good cycle. Like, this is a really good cycle for you. Tell me about Libra. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Libra in the next 7 days. What can we tell Libra? You're like my favorite. You're my favorite sitcom these days. I just want to tune in next week. Tell me about Libra. We've got the King of Cups in the reverse. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. We've got the Ace of Swords. And we've got the King of Pentacles. Ah, very interesting. You know, well, the Knight of Pentacles is about the reassessment, right? The reassessment phase. And the Ace of Swords is about a realization, I would say, after the reassessment phase. What the realization is about is you've come to a clarity about your kingdom. The King of Cups is in the reverse. And when I see the King of Cups in the reverse, this person is not managing their emotions very well. I think that you have come to some sort of a realization about something that has made you overly emotional. You've reassessed something and you've come to a solid agreement with the self. It has to do with something that's solid and grounded, something that might have to do with your money, your health, your wealth. Tell me more about this. Tell me why the King of Cups is in the reverse. You've become very clear about something in your Pentacle world. It might be a decision, because we have 2 Pentacles here, that you've been moving really slowly toward making some... Oh, I think I said that to you in the last reading I just did most recently. I think it was your weekly reading. There's some sort of clarity that's coming here about a decision that you are no longer thinking about, because Pentacles are about the 3D. You're now going to make it real in the 3D. I feel like this King of Cups energy in the reverse tells me that maybe you were way overly emotional about something until you come to this place of reason, which is the Ace of Swords. We've got the 6 of Cups. Oh, you've had a realization. A realization that the way that you feel about someone or something or a situation is triggered from your past. It's a trigger from a bad relationship or from when you were a kid, or it feels like that's what this King of Cups is. I feel like something happened back there in a relationship or when you were a child, and something here is triggering you, and it's making you realize that you're stable now. You're the King of Pentacles. You're no longer the King of Cups in the reverse. In fact, you're not in the 6 of Cups anymore. I feel like what you're trying to do is make sense of it. The Justice card and the 6 of Cups is you're trying to make sense of whatever this nostalgic feeling is. It's a feeling that's attached to something that's triggering you here. Tell me about the Justice. Ah, the Emperor. Very interesting. I feel like somebody here is very triggered. It could be about your father, I'm going to say, or maybe from a past job. I feel as though somebody is trying to restore their faith in authority, or is trying to step into their Emperor energy. You know what this feels like? It feels like, but I don't want to be like them. I don't want to be a leader like that. I don't want to be someone who is hard on people and who never smiles at people in the hallway. Like, I don't want to be that person. I want to be someone who's metered and harmony, and, someone who is, restorative in my emotional energy. I don't want to be that person my father was, or my grandfather was, or the person that person was with me in the last. I feel like you were hurt by something back here. So I feel like this Emperor energy tells me that you are taking back your power. And the Justice card is here saying, I need to take back my power as a Libra, whether that comes up in your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Jupiter. And I need to stop immersing myself so much in my emotional energy and get back on the horse, get back into my swords energy. We have the Two of Pentacles. We did talk about the Two of Pentacles being a decision you were making in the 3D. And so I feel like this is now Four of Pentacles. It makes me feel like you were holding on to something that was making you overly emotional, or that you were having a hard time bringing into, like you were having a hard time bringing it into harmony or bringing it into balance. You were off balance for a little bit, because the Two of Pentacles to me is the wobble, right? It is a bit of a wobble. I don't know what to do. It's kind of emotional. Trying to keep my balance here. The Chariot, there we go. And when the puzzle piece fits, there it is. You get in the Chariot, you discipline everything, and you begin to move forward here. So I feel like there is somebody here who has to resolve something from the past. I don't know what it is. You'll know what it is. Maybe you'll tell me in the comments. You don't have to. But I feel like you've had some sort of realization that I need to make a decision to stop holding on to something, Four Pentacles, and I just need to begin to move forward. I need to discipline my emotions, and I think that's what this Chariot is here, because Chariot is Cancer, and Cancer holds everything under the surface. And I feel like you're trying to be brave about it. So I really do feel that somebody here is trying to detach from the past by taking back their power, but it also could be that, but I don't want to be a leader like that person was. I don't want to treat people like a conqueror, like they're just a number, like you're just a person in my empire. That's not the kind of leader I want to be. I think you're being brave with your emotions, and you're being brave to be disciplined. I think this discipline could be financial, but it also could be in your decision making. Look, I'm just going to say, Libra, you're not the best decision maker. You tend to overthink everything. We've got the Devil here. Yeah, I feel like you're making a breakaway from the thing that you were attached to. It does feel like you here with the Ace of Swords, that you're cutting the chains that bind you, and you've decided to move forward. Bravery. I feel like you decide to move forward, and I no longer want to be in this wobble. I don't want to be wobbling anymore. I don't think you will be, because the Emperor is here. What's this? We've got the Page of Cups. We've got the Four of Cups. I feel like you, this Page of Cups here tells me, I feel like that surprisingly enough, I feel like you're going to be dumping some sort of a burden that you've been carrying. And it does feel like it's probably an emotional burden that you've been carrying. The Six of Cups is here, but also we've got the Five of Cups here, right? Six of Cups is here. I feel like what we're talking about is something that makes you overly emotional, which means maybe you still cry about it. Maybe it still keeps you up at night. Maybe when you hear that person's name, it brings all those feelings up again. But I feel like this Page of Cups tells me that, quite surprisingly, this Five of Cups, I feel like you are going to let this go. I feel like with the Ten of Wands being here, this is something you've been carrying regret or sadness with you, friend. That's what it looks like, and it's time to let it go. The Ten of Wands is the place where you can just put all of that heavy shit down, and you can just keep moving. I feel is that you're looking at some sort of something new or exciting or good news or good rapport. And I feel like you need to make a decision about something. You are going to come to clarity, which is going to cut through the emotions, which is going to bring you to a place of stability where you take back your power, and then you're going to pursue whatever it is that you want. It does feel relationship related, but maybe that's because I'm looking at emotions in the middle of your reading. It could just be something that you feel very deeply emotional about. We've got the Ten of Cups. You want to be happy. And I feel like you are needing to have something. I think something is showing up, like the Page of Cups is here. It's a messenger, and it's always good news. Good emotional news is about to show up. And I also feel that you're about to meet someone new, or there is somebody that you already know. Six of Cups is here. Somebody that you already know that maybe you haven't dated. I feel like you are about to give that person reciprocal energy, because they seem to match your profile of what you want in terms of the Ten of Cups. We have the Nine of Wands here. You're about this close. I would say you're about this close. It's like you, I'm going to say that you're a person whose social battery gets drained really quickly. When you stay somewhere for too long, I feel that's when the trauma comes up. So, friend, I think you need to drop this, because I think it's going to interfere in anything else that's brand new. Anything else that's brand new, I feel like you're carrying around some sort of a hardship with you here. We've got the Page of Swords. Look, I feel like it's this is a place of observation. The Six of Pentacles is practical energy, but it is also reciprocal energy. So I feel like you've got to give in order to get. You can't. Oh, what's that? That's a song. You can't get if you don't keep giving. What song is that? Hang on. Can't get it if you don't keep giving. Oh. Gosh, I can't remember what that song is. You might find it if you do Google that. You can't get it if you don't keep giving. Anyways, that's the message I think it is for you. But it feels like there's something here that you need to learn, and that is to observe from a distance before you give somebody your reciprocal energy. And I think that is a good way to try and settle your nervous system, because the Nine of Wands is here. Eventually you're going to have to drop whatever happened in the past in order to move forward, because Ten of Cups is yours if you want it, but I feel like it's going to take some observation, moving slowly, breaking the chains that bind you, and getting some clarity about making a decision and how you want to share your emotions. We've got the World card here with the Eight of Swords. I like that. It's the end of you being up in your head. No more overthinking, friend. You've come to perspective. It feels like now you are no longer stuck here, but you are in a pause trying to get perspective about what you want next. What is it that you want to materialize in the 3D next? I think you start to make a plan. Start to make a plan about what do I want next and what do I want it to look like. It's time for you to be the conqueror of your own life. Take your power back. We've got Capricorn, Sagittarius, Cancer, Capricorn again. We've got Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Pisces. We've got Aries, Sagittarius, and Libra, Scorpio. And Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, and Leo energy. Speaking of Scorpio, tell me about Scorpio for the next 7 days. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter signs. Tell me about Scorpio. What does Scorpio need to know about the next 7 days, please? Oops. Tell me about Scorpio. Things keep dropping here. Oh, we got Justice. Okay. We've got the Death card. No, sorry, the Devil. Not the Death card. We've got Temperance, and we've got the Knight of Pentacles. There's something here that's taking its time. It feels like what's taking its time is justice. I feel like you want justice in something, and it's taken its sweet-ass time. You're waiting for something. You're waiting for a moment of alchemy for something to come into balance. Something here is off balance. Look. This is not in balance. And look, this is not in balance. I feel like something is out of balance right now. You're looking for something to be restored. I feel like there is, I think you're waiting for a moment of alchemy, which is taking its sweet ass time, and the Devil energy is here. I feel like you are off balance and you're dealing with fear or doubt, or I think that the wobble is probably in your mind. It feels like it is something that you're thinking about. It's a thought pattern is what it feels like. Temperance being here tells me that you're eventually going to come to this place where you balance everything. I feel like something's taking a long time to come into balance. Temperance is showing up, so I feel like, oh, there we go. Two of Cups is on the bottom of the deck. I think we're talking about a person, possibly, or just a connection. Because Two of Cups isn't always romantic, right? It can be platonic, just a deep bond. It's somebody that you know really, really well. Oh, no. I feel like something is going to be revealed to you. I feel like Temperance and the Devil is telling me that the Devil's about to be revealed. Now look, I feel like Justice being here is like you're going to be like, I knew it. I knew it. It just took me a long time to realize it because I kept giving them a chance. You know, the Knight of Pentacles is here, and you kept giving them a chance. You kept reassessing and reassessing. No, maybe things are just out of balance. Reassessing. I feel like somebody is going to show you who they are, but it's somebody who I think that you're deeply connected to. This could be a family member, but it definitely could be something romantic. It feels like something is about to be revealed to you, or you're about to figure something out. It's like the Knight of Pentacles, Virgo energy, is going to put 2 and 2 together. Going to get all the analytics and more information and then connect all the dots. And I feel like a picture is shaping as you connect the dots here. We've got the Star in the reverse. The 2 of Cups has come back out. Shit. Losing hope in this connection. Losing hope that it's like I feel like I can't make excuses for this person anymore. Yes, I know they might have trauma. Yes, I know that they had a hard past. Yes, it feels like you keep making excuses for someone. You keep reassessing the situation and making excuses for someone. But I feel like you're starting to lose hope in this, I'm going to say, deeply embedded connection. Because, you know, the 2 of Cups can be a romantic connection, but it can also just be someone you shared your deepest emotions with. Like, you know, best friends do that as well, right? People get to know you really well. And we've got the 2 of Pentacles. What do I do from here? I don't know what to do. I feel like the 2 of Pentacles and the Knight carrying a pentacle tells me that this 2 of Cups, the deepening of our connection, is moving backwards, and it feels like it's moving into a partnership. Passing ships in the night. If this is romantic for you, I feel like you're dating someone where there's a lot of downtime, or you live with somebody who you're not even touching each other when you pass each other in the hallway. It feels very pentacle-like. It feels like, yeah, we're collaborating, we're cooperating at this time, but this is a partnership. It's like it's gone from this place where we really shared intimate things about ourselves or shared intimacy to a place of 3 of Pentacles, which is practicality. This is it's like this relationship has become very practical, or this friendship has become very practical. We've got the 3 of Wands. What happens in the future? Feels like there's one way to get your balance or your harmony or something to be restored in the future. It feels like there's a decision-making process. The only way to expand is the Chariot. Very interesting. Is to discipline yourself and to move forward. 10 of Pentacles into the future. I feel like it's time for you to expand yourself beyond the 2 of Cups. And I'm not asking you to leave a relationship. I'm not even telling you to do that. I'm saying that if you have, you know, a lot of people do this, they narrow their life down to just their partner, or they narrow themselves down to just one other person. It feels like it's skewed your perception of the future. You've become so very disciplined that it's skewed it's like you no longer, it's almost like it's the easiest thing to do because then I don't have to make any decisions, Elsie. I don't have to make any decisions about the future or what I want to do. But I feel like with the 3 of Wands here that something is expanding, and with the Chariot here, it's doing that quickly, and you have to find some sort of discipline. Discipline about the future, discipline about money, about your job. We've got the 3 of Cups here. Very interesting. You've got to expand your friend group. I feel like I'm supposed to tell you that. You need to expand the people that you know. Look, not everybody's going to be your friend. There's a difference between friends and acquaintances. There's people that you will shake their hand when you meet them, smile at them, say, hey, how's the wife and kids? How's the husband and kids? Those are people that we need in our lives all the time. But there are very few people who are actually in the 2 of Cups with us. People who take their time to share the deepest parts of themselves. And so I feel like it's time for you to start expanding your group. The people you speak with. Maybe it's time to start meeting new people. I think this is a plan you need to set up for the future. I think expansion here is coming. And I feel like your emotional connections need to expand. Because I think you're making some sort of decision about this two of Cups relationship And the star being in the reverse tells me you feel hopeless, or that things just aren't working out in this friendship or this relationship. Tell me what the outcome is for Scorpio. We've got the High Priestess. We've got the Sun. And we've got the Emperor in the reverse. Yikes. Okay, so I feel like your intuition knows what to do. I feel like you know what to do already, Scorpio. I feel like your intuition is on high. I think that you something is being revealed to you through the High Priestess energy. You really need to go with what you're feeling, because the Emperor's in reverse, friends. I feel like there is somebody in your life who's out of control. They're out of control. Somebody that you know very deeply. You're trying to make a decision about whether or not to leave the situation. It feels like this situation feels hopeless. I keep trying to fix it and it's not fixing. And I keep giving this person chance after chance after chance. I'm not telling you to leave anywhere. I'm not telling you to abandon anyone or anything. I'm saying expand your friendship group. You need another perspective. A perspective maybe on the relationship, but understand maybe a perspective on life. You know, when you put a hamster in a tank, that's the only perspective they have. Is they know their food is there, they know the wheel is there, they know that they've got a bedding that they can, you know what I mean? Like, you only have one perspective. I'm going to say get out of the box. It's time for you to get out of the box, because I feel like if this isn't already here, the Emperor in reverse, I feel like this is coming. So it feels like you might live with an Aries, or you might live with somebody who is a bit of a... they're somebody who's kind of explosive in their emotions or explosive in their anger. This is somebody who doesn't really have any control of themselves, and it's almost like they blame you for it. And I don't think it's your fault. What's around the corner here for Scorpio? We've got the Two of Wands in the reverse. I don't have a plan, though. I don't have a plan to support myself. I don't have a plan of where I'm going to live, where I'm going to move. First comes getting the job, getting more money. It feels like I don't have a plan yet. If I jump, I'm just going to jump in head first, and then what? Two of Swords. I feel like you do have to make some sort of decision, though. Like, it doesn't mean that you have to make a decision to leave at this moment, but you have to start planning. You have to start planning, and that's the way you make the decision. I think the decision is to make a plan about how I'm going to live from here, how I'm going to move forward. Three of Wands is here. Your future is expanding, and I feel like it needs to. I think it's forcefully expanding because the Chariot is here. We've got the Three of Pentacles. It's time to build some sort of foundation for yourself. A financial foundation. Look, all I'm saying is maybe you just need to open a secret bank account and start siphoning money from your weekly checks into another bank account. It's time for you to be a little bit secretive about what you're doing and start to plan under the surface. I'm not saying it has to go anywhere. Maybe this whole thing goes to, maybe you get on better terms with this person, or maybe this person stops being the Emperor in reverse. Something's about to get out of control, and you need to get into control. You need to take your power back and get into control, because you're about to deal with somebody who is under the sun. They're about to come at you full bore here. They're about to show you exactly how bad it can get. That's what it feels like here. We have the Fool. Yeah, you may have to jet, friend. This might be something, maybe the reason you keep giving this person chance after chance after chance, Scorpio, is because this is something that's in your childhood. Maybe you're a child of divorce, or maybe you didn't want this relationship to break up because all the other relationships broke up. But it feels like a leap is going to be necessary, and it looks like it's a very daunting leap. It's terrifying. Look at that person looking into the abyss, right? Yeah. Page of Cups is here. Look, it's going to be okay. This is good news. The Page of Cups is good news, but also it's an apology. So I feel like this person is used to just blowing everything up and then apologizing, and then blowing everything up and then apologizing. And I think this is your comfort zone. Yeah, the Four of Cups is here. It's become your norm. All right. Got the Devil here, which is Capricorn energy. I've got Libra. We've got Aries and Leo. We've got Virgo energy and Cancer, Pisces, Virgo, Capricorn, Aries, Sagittarius, Libra, and Virgo. Capricorn, Cancer, Aquarius, and Libra energy. I think what you need is balance. And you know how to get it, but you're just not, you don't have a plan for it. You need to start planning. This time next year, you could be doing something very different. Sagittarius, by your family. How you doing, friends? Tell me about Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter signs over the next 7 days. Tell me about Sagittarius over the next 7 days. Tell me about Sag. Tell me what's going on with Sagittarius over the next 7 days. We've got the Two of Pentacles. We've got the Seven of Cups. We've got the Nine of Pentacles. And we've got the Eight of Cups in the reverse. Oh boy. I'm going to say that I feel like you're going to have to make a decision, friend. I feel like somebody from the past is coming back. I'm just saying, you're getting your money's worth out of this retrograde. It feels like there might be somebody who's going to reconnect with you. Doesn't have to be romantic, right? Like somebody coming back from the past doesn't automatically mean romance. It could be an old friend. It could be somebody you haven't talked to in your family for a long while. But the Eight of Cups in the reverse for me is a boomerang. It's like somebody who went out there and now all of a sudden they're coming back with feelings. They feel some kind of way about how we parted ways. I'm just looking at this Two of Cups, right? Two of Cups isn't necessarily romantic, but it can be. If that's your lens, use it. But the Two of Cups here is somebody that you know intimately or deeply, or someone you have a deep bond with, emotional bond. Could be a family bond, could be a friend bond, could be a romantic bond. But you see, this person is looking up at the Five of Cups, and I'm just going to say that not all people that come back end up being in an energy of resolve. Some people come back and they haven't changed at all. Not one bit. And that's why people are in the past in the first place, is because they haven't changed at all. So I feel like you have someone coming back at you. This person is somebody who has done quite well for themselves. They're going to look different. So they've either lost a bunch of weight, or they've had some sort of glow up, or maybe they're financially better off than they were when they left. It feels like this person is coming back very confident, though. Confident that they can win you back, that if they say sorry, you'll take them back. It feels like this person, I feel, shows up and makes you wobble. And what I mean by that is I feel like it puts you in a place of, do I let them in? Do I not let them in? I think you're supposed to use your intuition, because look at this. Eeks. Future energy, right? The Tower is here with the Two of Swords. I feel like this is something that's showing up that's going to shock you. Yep. It's going to be right in your face. There we go. The Knight of Wands is here with the Ace of Swords. Something is going to shock you. You're not expecting this to show up. You're not expecting this shift. And I think this person that's showing up, you had hardship with, because there's 3 swords here. So I do feel like there is something going on here where somebody is going to show up and is going to wobble your life. This is somebody who I feel that when they do show up again, you're going to be looking at the 5 cups going, am I in regret? Am I in regret that I let them go? Because they're looking pretty good. This person is doing better financially, or they're looking really well. Tell me about the Two of Pentacles, because I feel like you're going to be put in a situation, Sagittarius, where you have to make some sort of decision about somebody who has been in your past for at least the last 8 months, maybe the last 9 years. Could be that. Pentacles are years for me. Could be 7 months. Could be 2 years. Feels like somebody who you haven't seen or talked to for a long while is about to reconnect to you, because Mercury is still in retrograde until the 20th of March, but then it's also still got a shadow phase. Don't forget. Tell me about the Two of Pentacles. We've got the Hermit energy. This person is going to pull you out of Hermit energy. So it's like maybe you have been just going to work, going home, going to the gym, going home, going work, going home, and then going home, sitting on your sofa, watching your favorite show, doing your favorite craft, whatever it is, minding your business, and then somebody texts you, or somebody calls you, or somebody, look, the pentacles tell me they could show up at your door if they live close enough and they've been to your place before and they know where you live. We've got the Two of Swords, which has come back out again. Oh, look at that. Jeez, they both came back out again. All right, so I feel like this is going to make you defensive. Yeah, I feel like they're showing up and you're like, wait, what? Yeah. Because there's been an extended or long period of quiet time. It could be maybe you haven't heard from this person since I'm going to say since possibly the end of August last year. I'm looking at this as Virgo energy, right? So Virgo energy is around about the 22nd of August into September. On the 22nd of September. So it could be in that period. Could have been around the fall time last year. You haven't heard from this person. It could have been in Scorpio season, November, right? You haven't heard from this person in a while. Oh, we've got Libra, October to September. So it definitely is the fall time. Pentacles here confirming that. Tell me more about Sagittarius. The Three of Swords. Okay. We've got the Queen of Cups. You still have heart space for them, friend. Yeah. You're like, why now? Why now? Right? Why now? What's going on? I feel like you could have put them on the outside looking in, but I really do feel like this is a ghosting. I feel like somebody ghosted you. Or maybe they didn't ghost you. Look, maybe they didn't block you. Maybe none of that dramatic stuff happened, but maybe we just stopped talking. Maybe we just drifted apart and stopped talking. And I think that you just left it as it was. You thought, well, Elsie always tells me whatever's meant for me will never pass me by. And tell you what, this person's showing up again. And I would say that whatever's meant for you is never meant to pass you by, but maybe what's not meant to pass you by is that you're meant to resolve this so you can leave it alone and let it go. I'm not going to say that I don't know that this is going to end up in the place that you want it, because I feel like you know that although there's regret, there's also sadness and overwhelm, and there's illusion. This person might lie to you, or maybe not lie to you, but maybe just not tell you the whole truth. I think that this person is coming back because you were kind to them, even when they were breaking your heart. I feel like you're kind, compassionate, loving. But you're like, what do they want? They want fire. They're trying to pursue you. They might be pursuing you because of money. Maybe they're out of money. Maybe they show up looking pretty good, but maybe they're out of money. Maybe they owed you money. Tell me what the outcome is, please. It feels like this King of Wands energy tells me this person does show up with a little bit more wisdom than they had. And I feel like you inspired them to be a better person. And I feel like you're still on the outside looking in, and I think that they never apologized for breaking your heart. It was over some sort of argument, or I would say a line drawn in the sand. I think you probably said, no more. I can't do this with you anymore. And everything shifted. The Tower is it could be a block. It could definitely be a block that somebody finds a way around the block, because the Tower is a shift. It's also things falling to the ground, and what's next to it is the Two of Wands, which is a block. And so I feel like somebody could have found a way around the block. Maybe they found an email address, or maybe they just come knock on your door. They found a way around the block. If you did block them, we've got the Eight of Wands. This is happening pretty soon, friend. For some of you, maybe in the next 7 days. For some of you, in the next 8 weeks. We've got the Queen of Swords. I think you were the one that liberated yourself from the situation. Yep, there we go. I feel like you got a perspective and you said, I cannot do this anymore. I think that the Two of Pentacles is telling me that it was really hard for you to make a decision. It took you a long time to make a decision, because Pentacles are meant to be slow. I think that you waited and waited and waited. 5 and 2 is 7. You waited for somebody to contact you again. And I think that this person never did. Look, I'm just saying, for those of you who this applies, take it. And if it doesn't, don't take it. The King of Wands is here with some pentacles. And to me, that's a situationship because it's friends with benefits. Tell me, I feel like you finally got a perspective and you put up a boundary with this person. You put up a boundary and I feel like this person is back to test your boundary is what it is. Tell me what's around the corner for Sag. We've got the Hierophant. This could be someone that you were committed to for a period of time. It's the past commitment is what it is. It's past commitment, but it could be someone that you worked with in the past as well, because Hierophant is not just commitment of relationship. This is also corporation, right? Institution. Maybe your paths split. Maybe you work together and one of you left the workplace. It could be that. It feels like the Four of Swords is here. There's been a long time to heal. I think that you're over it. I'm going to say, I think that you've healed it. And the 4 and the 3 here tell me 7. And I feel like you're still the liar you were when you left. I don't think you trust this person. I'm not seeing anything here that says they've changed, but I think that they want to resolve something, or they're showing up because they remember you as the Queen of Cups. Compassionate, kind, loving, empathic. I'll give you whatever you need. Go ahead, take my energy. Take whatever you need. But what they don't realize is that you've grown into the Queen of Swords also. And when the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups is here together, the Queen of Swords says, say what you got to say. Be honest and truthful. And don't let nobody get away with nothing. But say it in the kindest way you know how. So I feel like you've learned to stand up for yourself, and I feel like you're not going to let this person get away with it anymore. Oh boy. Something's about to be revealed to you, friend. You may have already dreamt about it. I feel like you've been healing something here for a while. What's about to be revealed? Oh boy, look at that. Yikes. Okay, so it is a surprise from somebody who I think that you probably have dated, had intimate times with. This person is texting you because they want to see you. And I feel like it could be a situationship. Holy crap. Look at that. We've got the surprise, the 2 of Cups, and we've got the Ace of Cups. 4 Cups. Somebody is going to pull you out of your comfort zone. It feels like something is being revealed to you. Somebody's going to reveal their feelings, or they're going to say, I never stopped thinking about you. It feels like somebody still has a heart space energy for you. They might want to try and start something up again. I'm not telling you not to. I'm saying the sun is here. You will make the best decision for you because everything will be clear, crystal clear. So you will make the decision that's best for you no matter what the situation is. And I feel like, look, we've got Queen, Queen, Queen. The only queen we don't have here is the Queen of Wands, and she's the one who's independent. So I feel like you've become financially well off by yourself. I feel like you've had some sort of glow up. 9 of Pentacles is here. I feel like you're single. I feel like you take care of yourself. You're taking care of your own bills. I feel like the queens are all in cahoots here. I feel like the Queen of Swords is like, no, bitch, keep your boundaries, right? Keep your boundaries. Be kind. Say what you've got to say kindly, and remember your worth. Oh, well, I was going on all about that. Oh my gosh. Okay, so if you're the Empress, I'm talking about you. Okay, so you don't have to be a Taurus or a Libra to be the Empress. The Empress is wisdom. You've grown a lot, and there's a lot of wisdom now within you. We've got all the queens out. You're the Empress, but look who's here. Yeah, they've grown a lot as well. I feel like your compassion and kindness and the ability to hold your boundary, I feel made this person force them to step into their Emperor energy. So I feel as you two meet on this plane, that it's a very different vibration, which totally changes the flavor of everything. Because now it's emperors and empresses. You don't need them. They don't need you. This person might be coming back simply to say sorry, which is what this is. Sorry I hurt you. Anyways, let's take a look. I don't know what you're going to do here. This person doesn't see that you're not feeling very vulnerable about them. The Lovers is here. Maybe somebody has changed. Look, maybe I spoke too soon. Change is here. Maybe somebody has changed. But please, please be careful. We've got Pisces. Look, it could still happen in Pisces season, or, you know, we are still in retrograde energy. And don't forget, we still have the 2 weeks after the 20th, which is the outro, right? So we've got Aries here. We've got the Queen of Wands, Libra, Gemini, Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. We've got Cancer. More Leo, lots of fire. Just saying, be careful. There's an attraction here. We've got the King and the Queen of Wands. We've got Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. Yeah, I already said that. We've got Taurus energy. Got Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy. Taurus, more Scorpio. Libra, Piscean energy. Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo. This is you, Sagittarius. Something is about to change. Just saying. See what happens in your weekly. Let's talk about Capricorn. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter signs. Capricorn, the next 7 days. Tell me what's happening with Capricorn. Tell me about Capricorn. Tell me about Capricorn. Capricorn, we have the Nine of Wands. We have the Fool. What's this? We have the Four of Cups and the Two of Swords. I feel as though like there is a new chapter that wants to open up for you. Look at this. The changes here. The future is the Wheel of Fortune. That's around the corner, probably within the next 7 days. And I feel like the Fool energy is telling me that a new chapter is just about around the corner, that everything is about to change. The Two of Swords is here, and I feel like you're keeping great balance, but I feel like you're keeping balance because you are in the Four of Cups, which might be a comfort zone. I feel like you're exhausted. I feel like you're exhausted. You're tired of being rejected. Tired of being rejected. I feel like this new chapter is opening, though. I feel like this new chapter is opening with the Wheel of Fortune here. Something is about to change and expand. I feel like you went into the Four of Cups energy here because you were trying to find your balance. You're trying to make good decisions, good emotional decisions, but I do feel like what's creeping up behind you here is a new chapter that's about to open. Now look, I feel like you're exhausted. I feel like you're still not finished the old chapter. So you still could be in the old chapter and not quite into the new one yet. Tell me why the 9 is here. Yep, you're in movement. So everything is kind of in motion right now. The Hermit is here. You're in Hermit energy. The Wheel of Fortune is back. So that's about to change. I feel like once you have healed, once you are no longer exhausted and you have more energy, friend, I feel like you are moving forward, getting out of the Hermit energy. I think being in Hermit energy has really changed you. And I don't feel like you're just like locking yourself in a room. I feel like you maybe aren't being as social. I feel like you're really thinking about the self, really gathering analytics and figuring out where you are spiritually. It feels like you've changed your mind, or you've had a change of heart, or you've changed direction. And I feel like you are trying to stay in balance from being super exhausted. And that's why you're in the Four of Cups. Look, the Four of Cups is necessary. It is balance. It's balance of the emotions, right? It's stability of the emotions. But I also feel like maybe you're rejected by someone or something. Or maybe you rejected them because it was a decision. So I think that maybe you made a decision to reject something emotional. Tell me what else is coming up here. Tell me what this change is. We've got the Page of Pentacles. So something is changing in your pentacle world. Something new is about to show up. Something that you didn't expect. Oh, interesting. We've got the Judgment card. Something is coming back around here, friend. Whatever's meant for you will never pass you by. And Whether, whatever the situation is, I feel like it's about to show up again. But the situation is showing up at a time when you are pretty solid. I think you're pretty solid. I'm going to say I feel like you don't expect it because the Seven of Swords is here, but I also feel like it's going to make you pivot in the Pentacle world. It might be a new opportunity that you don't yet see, or something that's being concealed from you, but I feel like this opportunity is showing up again because the Wheel is here, right? It feels like something that you may have rejected in the past is showing up again, and I feel like you might be ready for it. I feel like it's an attachment, or it's attached to you, or every time it showed up before, it made you feel like you weren't prepared, or it felt, you can see, like it felt like monstrous, it felt terrifying, felt like something that you couldn't take on. I want to say that I think you're ready. I think you're ready to take it on this time. Everything's about to change because of whatever you've learned in the Hermit energy, and I think that you see yourself as a lot more spiritual, or you've really changed after spending a lot of time with yourself, getting out of the psychology of being in the chaos. Now I feel like you're in the calm, and something has changed within you with the Hermit energy. I feel like something is showing up again that you may have rejected back there because you weren't ready. But I think you have changed and you're ready to make some sort of decision. I think this thing might have scared you before, but I don't think it's going to scare you when it shows up again. Tell me what the outcome is here. When it shows up this time, you're ready for it. The Fool is here. We've got the Six of Pentacles. It might be reciprocal energy from someone. We've got the Hanged Man energy. And we've got the Two of Wands. So I want to say that after a period of time, which has put you into perspective about how you're going to disperse your time, energy, effort, or money, how you give yourself to people, I feel like you've gotten a perspective and you've changed. And the Six of Pentacles is like, yeah, well, everybody wants something from me. But it feels like the perspective is, I need a better plan. And the better plan, I feel, comes with you making decisions, because twos are always about decisions, but this is Libra, about you to stay in balance when this thing shows up again. I think they're dealing with a very different Capricorn this time. Somebody who thought they could take advantage of you in the past, or something that seemed very scary to deal with. And it could be money. Maybe you just didn't have the bandwidth to deal with something back there, is about to show up again, and you don't realize it's about to show up again, but this time you're ready for it, I think. We've got the Five of Wands in the reverse. Somebody's going to try and reconnect to you or reach out to you. The Queen of Swords is, but you've got some really good boundaries, because I feel like you've changed since you've been in this Hermit energy. Temperance tells me that it's not a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing. It's something that is quite healing, or you're looking at it. You can see the Queen of Swords is looking at the Temperance card. You're looking at it as an opportunity to heal or get something back into balance again. But see, you're prepared. I'm just going to say, look at her. She's like, yeah, go ahead, help me out. But listen, I don't really need it. And I'm prepared with my sword. I'm prepared to take care of whatever I have to take care of, right? And we have the Five of Swords. Okay, so that's interesting. It may be someone from a social group. Someone that you met in a social group, and maybe things went off the rails and they didn't work out because the Five of Swords is here. We had fundamental differences. Maybe we had an argument or a fight. I feel like this could be that. The devil energy being here. Maybe this person was overbearing, or somebody who possibly, I feel like they scared you, or they were overbearing, or they were very, you can see this, right? Like, this person's little, that's overbearing. And I feel like you just cut yourself out. You're just like, nope. I think this had something to do with a social group, or it happened in a social gathering. And I feel like this person's going to try and reconnect you because the Five of Wands is here. And I think that they want to come make something right. And that's what it feels like. They want to come make something right. Get your friendship back on track. Get your love ship back on track. We've got Cancer energy, Gemini. We've got Capricorn, Virgo, Pisces, Sagittarius, and Libra. Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, more Sagittarius energy, Virgo, and Libra. We've got Cancer energy, Sagittarius. We've got Aries, we've got Pisces, and Gemini energy. It feels like there's been a break in the action. I'm going to say that somebody here has come to a perspective. They've come to a realization about what they said or did, and that might be why they're coming back here. All right, Aquarius. Tell me what's going on with Aquarius for the next 7 days for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Aquarius. Tell me about Aquarius. What does Aquarius need to know for the next 7 days? Justice. We're getting to the edge, right? We're getting to the end of Mercury retrograde here. What's the date today even? I don't even know. Hang on. Let me take a look-see. What's the date? The date is the 18th. Okay. So we've got another couple days. While Mercury is in retrograde, it goes direct on the 20th. And then we have the shadow phase, right? The 2-week shadow phase. But I keep pulling the Justice card as main cards here. So in a lot of the readings I am. So I feel like something is coming back into balance or it's going to be restored. There's some sort of justice here. It could have to do with law. Yep, there we go. And when we talk about Mercury retrograde, it isn't always that an ex is coming back. That's not always what it is. That's what the people who can only read through one lens, which is love, that's what they want you to know. But I feel like, the lens is bigger than that when it comes to tarot. And so I want to say that there is something here that I feel somebody is regretting, or maybe you're in regret about it, but something's about to restore. I'm going to say come back into balance, or it's about to restore, but it feels like somebody could be, between these cards, it feels like somebody could be coming back, but I think it's to restore justice. So it's to restore something that was said, or I'm sorry for hurting your feelings, or I didn't really feel that way when I said it. I regret the way that I spoke. I should have been more clear. I should have thought it out more. We've got the 6 of Swords. I should have thought about it clearer before I spoke it, and now I'm here to get out of the chaos and into the calm. Somebody here is feeling badly about what they said to you or the way they treated you. They want a new beginning and they want to jump into this new chapter with you. They're like, can't we just be friends? Like, can't we just go from this chaotic, emotional regret energy to this calmer place of opening a new chapter? Feels like this justice energy. It could be after a legal battle with them, absolutely. But I feel like mostly someone is showing up here to do the right thing. It could be you, but it feels like it's someone outside of you, Aquarius, if I'm being honest. Could be a Libra, could be an Aries, could be a Scorpio. Tell me more about justice. Yeah, they've been carrying it for a long time. Or maybe you have been. Look, I'm not taking that off the table, but take this reading the way you will. It's a general reading. Somebody's been carrying, a torch, it looks like. Somebody's been carrying the 2 of Cups around. Something ended. Oh boy, yeah, did it ever. That's what I felt. Something here ended. I think the chapter closed. Now, I don't know if you closed it or they closed it, but a chapter closed here, and I feel like it left somebody feeling a heavy weight about the 2 of Cups, about the connection that we had deepened, and I'm feeling heavy about that. I want to do the right thing because I'm feeling guilty, or I'm feeling like I have regret about letting this whole thing go, letting the door close, letting the chapter end. I feel like somebody here is coming back round, or maybe you've decided to go back round, but somebody here does want to resurrect something, and it is somebody that you had a deep bond with. So a deep friendship bond, but it could be a deep romantic bond. It feels like you had a deep bond with this person and something came to an end, and now it's coming back round. This person wants to smooth the waters. They're trying to, I'm just going to say, I feel like whoever's doing it, you or them, is doing it to clear their conscience because they hate feeling this way. it's taken a long time. So maybe it's been a whole cycle. Like maybe it's been a year or two, or maybe it's been 10 weeks. Maybe it's been a year, because we're moving into Aries season in a couple of days, and this is Aries. Tell me more about this. We've got the Hermit. It's been completely and totally quiet between you. Somebody's had time to think about how they're going to get your attention, how they're going to go back around. This person cannot let you go. They can't let you go, Aquarius. Or you can't let them go. I feel like the story isn't over. I'm looking at these 3 pentacles thinking we were just beginning to build. We were just beginning to get to know each other. We were collaborating. We were cooperating. We had the same community. We were just getting to know each other. We were just getting this practical relationship, or this practical friendship or relationship. It feels like it was like turning into something emotional possibly, or we just, this simply is just like the deepening of a connection, which is I started telling you my secrets, you started telling me yours, we started to get to know each other really well, and then something happened here where we just stopped talking to each other. Could have been in Capricorn season. The devil energy is here. There's somebody here who has been trying to work this out in their head, trying to work it out. And they feel the attachment of you, or you feel the attachment of them. This is a thought pattern or a feeling or an attachment I can't let go of. I feel bound to this situation. I feel like I have to make it right. The Strength card is here. I feel like somebody's been holding back from this connection. I feel like it's probably you, that you're the person who's been holding back. This is a practical connection or a friendship, or maybe you're a friend of a friend with this person, but it feels like it got deeply intimate. Like, and understand, intimacy doesn't happen between the sheets. Intimate is like we had deep conversations and we really got to know each other, and I really started telling you a lot of my secrets. And so I feel like somebody is going to get a visit from someone else who wants to make something right. So I don't know if that's you going to someone else or someone else coming to you. Take it as it resonates for you. We've got the 2 of Wands. Somebody here is in the planning stages of that. We've got the 5 of Wands, but they're beating themselves up. I think that the 5 here and the 5 here tells me something's about to happen really quickly, but somebody's been beating themselves with regret. And I think that they're trying to make a plan to stand up for themselves. 5 and 2 is 7. Somebody here is trying to make a plan to stand up for themselves. They no longer want to hold back. Oh, look at that. Wow, 555. It is happening quickly. There was a difference of opinion, or we didn't have the same moral values, or everything that we talked about, we argued about, or we just like drifted. It feels like you stopped talking to me, I stopped talking to you, and somebody said, you know what? Someone who doesn't talk to me for a whole year doesn't need my presence. So maybe you let them go. Maybe you block them. Maybe you decided, no, just lose my number. Tell me what's around the corner. The Queen of Pentacles is here. You could have been dealing with a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn. Maybe a Leo. We've got Scorpio here. The Death card is here. Yeah, I think it ended. Something here ended with a Taurus. It feels like a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn possibly. And I think it's about time that it's coming back round here, probably in Aries season. And I feel like you've had a lot of time to think about it, but I feel like no matter how much you overthink this, that you cannot let this person go. The Judgment card is here saying the only way that you are going to get this monkey off your back, the only way that you're going to be able to release this emotional regret is if you finally see somebody face to face, and that's Queen Pentacles energy. 6 of Pentacles here. Until you give them face to face reciprocal energy, I feel like you are living in a place where you just keep carrying on with life, but I keep thinking about them. Yeah, King of Pentacles is here. This person is somebody you got along with, but I feel like when it came down to it, maybe, yeah, like we didn't agree, or maybe you've been fighting yourself. Maybe this is the internal battle, the mental one, the physical one. Could be that. We've got Libra. We've got Taurus energy, Scorpio, Leo, Capricorn, more Capricorn. We've got Virgo, Aries, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Cancer, Sagittarius, and more Scorpio energy. I'll leave it right there. All right. Let's talk about you, Pisces. Happy birthday, friends. This is probably the last reading I'm giving you in Pisces season. Oh, wait. Yeah, I might come back tomorrow, but we'll see. Hope you had a beautiful season, friends. And how you been doing with all of the activity. If you don't know the activity, maybe you'll see an astrologer, but there's been a lot of activity in Pisces lately. Yes, and I feel like the 20th is going to be an easier time for you. Things will begin to get easier and easier in making decisions, how you're feeling about things, stuff like that, as Mercury goes direct on the 20th. Tell me about Pisces. We've got the Three of Wands. You're looking into the future, able to look at expansion, look at having fun or excitement or adventure. I feel like something is coming up here. The Six of Swords is in the reverse. I feel like you go from being stuck to not being stuck. It feels like, you know, it's the illusion of being stuck here. I feel like you have taken this time while Mercury was retrograde. I feel like you've taken this time to really think about what it is you're looking for in your future. Are you looking for a new job? Are you looking to start a business? I feel like the Six of Swords in the reverse and the moon energy explains Mercury retrograde. Things are not as they seem. I can't seem to make a decision. I'm stuck in my mind. I'm not moving forward. What's going on here? I feel like it feels like with this Emperor energy that you're about to get back in control. You're about to get back behind the wheel here, and things are about to move forward. I feel like you are now able to see a little further into the future. I think that the moon was clouding things, Cancer Pisces energy, how you felt about something. You were stuck in how you felt about something. But I think, honestly, I don't think that you could make a decision about how you felt about it because you were sort of wading through this murky water is what it feels like. We've got the Three of Cups. Oh, you're seeing, I feel like you have an optimistic outlook on the future. And I think that as we get closer and closer to Mercury going direct in your sign, I feel like it's you're becoming a lot more optimistic. Maybe you're going to be more social. Maybe you've not been very social over the retro period or over the Pisces season. We've got the Temperance card. Yeah, I feel like you do need to get out with friends. And the Five of Pentacles. I feel like you were hiding yourself away while you were healing. I feel like you're feeling a lot more optimistic than you were at maybe, you know, a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. It feels like that there is, I'm going to say for some of you, there's something coming that is financial or something to do with your 3D that you don't see coming. And it feels like it's big. Tell me more about this. Feels like it could be like a new job, like a job calls you, or money, time, effort, energy. What is this? The High Priestess. You already feel it. If you've been waiting for a call from the bank about money, about a new job, about that raise, whatever it is, if you've been feeling like it's close, it is. And I feel like up until Temperance showed up, you were feeling pretty disconnected from your intuition. We've got the Page of Pentacles. There's going to be an offer or an opportunity that's showing up, and you're going to have to make a decision on the fly. Like in the 3D, you're going to have to make a decision. You've been waiting on something, 5, 6, 7. You've been waiting on someone to make a decision or look at the data, look through more data, mine for more information. And we've got the Eight of Swords. So I think like you're waiting for a decision on something. I feel like you think that the silence equals no. But that's not true because the moon is here. And with the King of Pentacles beside the moon, I feel like whatever it is that you've been waiting for, things are not as they seem. It's an illusion. I feel like the King of Pentacles there is an offer, a financial offer coming, or something that makes your time, your effort, your energy, your health, whatever's in the 3D that you have that you've been feeling in lack about. I feel like it's something that shows up. It's the end of something, which I kind of love. First of all, the Ten of Swords, yes, is painful. It's been a painful season for you. I feel like this energy here is like this I was going to say Mercury retrograde feeling. This is like, I can't make a decision. I feel like no matter what I do, I'm going to get cut either way. My hands are tied. There's nothing that I can do. I'm waiting for the offer. I'm waiting for them to get me to sign off on the paperwork, or waiting for the job offer, or waiting. It feels like there's been a lot of silence. And so you've been feeling in lack or feeling on the outside looking in, but I feel like this is coming through now. And it's because I feel the release. I feel like Mercury is releasing you. So I feel like things are going to become very clear about this offer that's showing up. And it could be romantic for sure. We've got emotions here. We've got the Three of Cups here. It could be that, but it doesn't really feel that way to me. It feels like it's more pentacle related. Tell me what is the outcome, please, for Pisces. We've got the Four of Swords. We've got the Three of Swords. And we've got the Knight of Pentacles. So look, I feel like something is showing up in divine timing. Could be this. Could be two people coming back together again. Those two people are facing each other. And that would put an 8th pentacle here. And the 7 of Pentacles is waiting, but the 8 of Pentacles is harvest. Somebody here who still has an attachment to you. It could be that. Look, I feel like here you've been healing yourself from some sort of heartbreak or disappointment. I think you're expecting the answer to be no. Or you don't expect that this person is showing up. Look, this could be a love thing, right? With the Devil here. Devil's also very sexual energy. Something could have ended between you and that person, and somebody wants to come in and, light the wand again. Somebody who can't let go of you. But the Knight of Pentacles is here. I feel like something is going to force you into reassessment. So I feel like if this is something in your pentacle world, your work world, whatever it is, time, effort, energy, money, health, it's going to force you to make some sort of reassessment. But I think that's a good thing, because you're going to be reassessing the Three of Swords and how you feel about something. And you're going to realize that this wasn't heartbreak or disappointment. This was actually just a waiting period, a reassessment period. So we could gather what we needed for information, and the waiting was here. But I feel like the last pentacle shows up, and then it's harvest. So I feel like something you've been wanting to happen does actually happen. A job you wanted does actually show up. But I feel like you've been feeling stuck in this, I don't know what to do kind of energy. I can't really see the way through. Tell me what's around the corner. We've got the Knight of Wands. We've got the Two of Wands. We've got the Six of Wands. A lot of fire and movement. We've got 9 wands here. If this is about a person, I feel like this is somebody who burnt you out. I feel like somebody is making a plan to come forward in a brave way and try and start a new cycle with you. This person might have been someone who was in their dark night of the soul, and now they want to move forward. They want a victory with you. Ah, surprise. There it is. A surprise apology. A surprise. If this is a person, either way, I think the apology is, I'm sorry it took so long. Maybe it's a bank manager. I don't know what it is, but the King of Pentacles is something that's been taking so long in the 3D. It feels like it is an apology, but it looks like it is sort of a surprise that things, after somebody holding back here, that something is about to work out the way you thought it would. 6 of Cups. The 7 of Wands is here. Yep, this is a person of influence. Someone who influenced you in your life. Someone who is a person of influence for other people, a bank manager, or somebody who owns something large, maybe a business. I feel like somebody here is about to stand up for themselves. This could be somebody that you blocked. I'm just saying, the Seven of Wands is here. But it feels like it's somebody that you know, that you've been acquainted with before. It could be somebody who's in your past already. And I feel like this person is about to find their courage and step forward. I'm going to leave that right there, Pisces. We've got Leo energy here. We've got Scorpio energy and Sagittarius energy. We've got a lot of swords, so we'll call it Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. We've got Pisces energy. We've got Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. Sagittarius, Cancer, Aries. Might happen in Aries season, right? Aries season begins on the 20th. I'm going to leave this right here. Pisces, thank you so much for all the ways that you've loved me. Happy birthday if this is the last time I get to say it for you. And I hope you're well. Thank you so much for being here. And I appreciate you. I'll be back because I'm always back. In fact, I'll be back tomorrow. Bye-bye.